This program is sponsored in part by the South Bend Education Foundation.
Hello and welcome to Buzz in the Bend, Michiana's award-winning student talk show. I'm Sajanaya Grohl from John Adams High School.
And I'm Fernando Sanchez, also from John Adams High School.
So, how's it feel to be a host on the state's #1 video magazine?
It feels amazing. It feels good to be recognized for all the hard work, not only between us, but also our entire news team. How does it feel to be the host of a #1 newscast?
Oh, honestly, it's fulfilling. It's really happy. But I think we've done enough bragging. We have to continue with the show.
We do.
The school board has announced its plans to redraw district lines.
We've essentially dropped in enrollment an entire high school.
Losing more than 1,700 students means the school system lost over $12 million in less than a decade. The consultants came up with 3 different plans. Plan A was to keep all high schools open. Plan B to close Clay, and Plan C to close Clay and make Riley a middle school. The second 2 plans haven't been too popular. The vote to decide which plan will be acted on will be decided April 17th at LaSalle Academy. Nothing will be going into effect until 2024 to 2025.
The Indiana Business Professionals of America state competition was held March 12th through the 14th in Indianapolis. 7 students from John Adams High School qualified at the regional competition back in December. Of the 5 who actually competed at state, all 5 qualified for the BPA National Competition in Anaheim, California, this April 26th through the 30th. John Adams High School students earned a total of 12 awards in 8 categories.
March is Women's History Month, and it commemorates and encourages the study, observation, and celebration of the vital role of women in American history.
While women currently own more than 42% of all U.S. businesses, they are 3% more likely than men to start a new business. We recently checked in on the local woman-owned business, Lips and Lashes.
Guess what? I'm going to Italy.
This may sound like chit-chat, but it's actually the sound of money being made at a woman-owned business. Amy Verwick owns Lips and Lashes, a beauty salon on Douglas Road.
Ever since I was a kid, I always wanted to run my own business. I had wanted to be a fashion designer, and I went to school for costume design, so it was similar, but I've always wanted to do something on my own.
While Lips and Lashes offers everything from skincare to hair and nail services, Verwick does her part to support other women too. She partners with Hello Gorgeous to provide complimentary services to women fighting cancer.
Hello Gorgeous, we do complimentary surprise makeovers on women battling cancers. And my husband and I both work with a lot of cancer patients. We do 3D areola tattooing for breast reconstruction, and we do a lot of that complimentary to help women.
Perhaps one of the biggest hurdles she faces when running her business is overcoming the stereotypes often associated with women-owned businesses.
There's always going to be that person looking at you like, are you sure you can do it because you're a woman? You know, are you strong enough? Because, you know, you're a woman. But I think in general, you know, running a business is hard. You never know, ups and downs. We had to go through COVID, and thank goodness we were able to stay open.
Verwick is thankful to be able to do work she loves. If she were to give one piece of advice to women interested in starting a business, this is what she'd say.
Follow your dreams. You learn from your mistakes, and you're not going to know if you can do it if you don't try. Woman or not, but if you're a woman, and I always say, you know, if you have a dream, if you want to start a business, if you want to try it, try it. You're going to learn from your mistakes. It takes those mistakes to get to where you are, but you know, if you hesitate and you don't, then you're always going to think back and think, I wish I would have.
Reporting for Buzz in the Bend, I'm Jardini Soto.
South Bend students recently had the opportunity to take part in the world premiere of the radio play Sarcophagus. The students' version of the acclaimed play, which examines the lingering effects of the Chernobyl disaster, placed third in Indiana School Broadcasters' state competition.
The world did not know about this disaster. They knew something was up, but they didn't know what happened for about 3 days.
The date is April 26, 1986. We bring you now to the experimental section of the Institute of Radiation Safety in Chernobyl, Kyiv Oblast, Ukraine.
So Sarcophagus is a play by Vladimir Guberyev, and it's about the Chernobyl incident.
Have them, they don't stay for long.
This is the first time it's been done as a radio show anywhere, ever, so that's pretty cool.
We followed the story of Chernobyl from the laboratories, so we have the point of view of like the interns and Anna Petrovna. So we kind of follow the story without really knowing what's going on.
Please yourself. Oh yes, I've been collecting crosswords for you.
The first day we have everyone, we get all the actors and we have them read through their scene. We get all the kinks out, we tell them anything they can improve on and anything that should change. And then the next day, we go through and record the scene, and we have done that scene by scene until the end.
But there is one exception, and I want to introduce you to him.
Yeah, I play this Brittany. I kind of want to describe him as like eccentric, but not in the sense that he's like flashy. It's more like his personality is eccentric. He's like lighthearted. I would say he's funny, but he also is like, can be serious at times. It's all I have to live for since I've been imprisoned in this place as a guinea pig for your scientific experiments.
Ah, come in. We've been expecting you.
When we're done recording the scenes, we go through the editing process. So we add the special effects, any voice corrections we need to do, any background noises we need to add, we go through that. And then we go and we review our final product and see what else we need to do.
Are they coming? It's all I have to live for since I've been imprisoned in this place as a guinea pig for your scientific experiments.
Ah, come in. We've been expecting you. I am Anna Petrovna. And you are?
I'm Vera.
This was the first play published under glasnost in Russia. And glasnost is something really important because it was kind of the freeing of Russian politics and news and more of an open Russia.
So it's called Sarcophagus because it refers to the big cylindrical cement structure that encases the nuclear reactor at a nuclear power plant. And the reactor is a symbol of a modern-day pharaoh. And much like a modern-day pharaoh, it will control us years and years after we are gone, after our children are gone. There's definitely a very deep message that we can take away from for a very long time.
The play was produced as a joint effort between our media program and the Riley Drama class. The play will air for a limited time on WETL 91.7 FM. Times and dates will be announced soon. When we come back, find out how one CTE class is helping build better lives.
And we'll bring you the latest in spring athletics on Sports Zone. Welcome back. Next, we're shining a spotlight on a construction class teacher who's building more than just houses. He's helping his students lay the foundation for a successful future.
You better get used to this sound. If you want to take the building trades construction class at Riley High School in South Bend, Indiana.
You need to make sure that when you go in that you're sitting on the bottom.
Mr. Kevin Hauk was a trim carpenter by trade before he started teaching at Clay High School.
This started pretty much with my father. He drugged me to job sites since I was 4 or 5. And so I've been around it all my life. My dad's a master carpenter and builder. My father talked me into going to Clay to teach a couple of classes. I did not want to teach, fell in love with the students, so I was at Clay for 4 years.
This year he moved over to Riley High School.
Now I'm here at Riley. I took over my father's position.
In this class, students learn building, plumbing, and electrical skills.
I joined the class because I wanted to do more hands-on stuff.
Riley High School senior J.J. Love plans to go into the union for his trade.
I like the way he runs the class. We do like the first 45 minutes in the actual classroom doing bookwork, studying, getting our OSHA safety stuff done. And then the second half of class, or like the last hour and a half, we're in the shop working, actually getting stuff done.
Boom, 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 boom. See how quick you can go down? Boom, 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 boom. Try to do hard tap.
I'd recommend this class, honestly, just because it's a fun class. I get to work every day, do things that I want to do my entire life. I get to work hands-on.
In the past, under his father, William Hauk's leadership, the class did well at the state and national competitions.
Not just a state of Indiana contest. It's not just an American contest, but it's an international contest.
We do Skills USA. We just won first place and 4th place at regional, and we're going to state.
Not only are the students learning about construction, they're learning about important life skills.
Persevere through the adversities that you get in life. You know, if you can't get something in the first try, you just got to keep going until eventually you get it.
Mr. Hauk is up for the challenge as well, filling some pretty big shoes his father left behind.
My father left me a lot. He was an influence my whole life. His teaching also influenced me. He had a lot of really great things that he did that's above and beyond and what others don't.
For Buzz in the Bin, I'm Trinity Fennessy.
As the weather warms up and the flowers start to bloom, it can only mean one thing. Spring is here, and so is the start of an exciting season in sports.
That's right. Athletics across the district are hitting the fields, courts, and tracks to showcase their talents and represent their schools. Cooper Van Driesch takes us to the action.
It's finally March, and that means the madness is finally upon us. I'm Cooper Van Driesch, back with the Sports Zone Update, March Madness edition. Last Thursday, the first round games took place across the country. And if you're one of the lucky individuals to have your bracket remain perfect throughout midday of day 2, consider yourself lucky, because later that night, on top of the upsets that already occurred, and the one that was about to occur, there would be no perfect brackets left. The game in question is the number 1 seed Purdue versus the number 16 seed FDU. Now, if you're like many basketball fans, until tournament time, you had no idea who FDU was, and understandably so. Farley Dickinson University, New Jersey, only has an undergraduate enrollment of 7,800 and wasn't even supposed to be playing in the tournament, only making it in because the winners of their conference, the NEC, were ineligible to play. Going into the game on Friday, the Boilermakers came in 22.5-point favorites over the Knights. Once the game tipped off, though, FDU blew past expectations and took a 32-31 lead into the half. And although in the second half Purdue tried to mount a comeback, going on a 10-0 run, FDU hung on to secure the 63-58 win. In this history-making run, FDU became the second team to defeat a 1 seed as a 16 seed, but the first 16 seed to win a playing game and then beat the top-seeded team in their region. And although they lost in the second round, there was little doubt about the history the Knights made. For more March Madness, the Sweet 16 kicked off last night with more games taking place later this evening. On the women's side, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish women's basketball team is heading to the Sweet 16 for the second consecutive year and the 19th time in program history. Niele Ivey and her Fighting Irish beat Southern Utah in the first round and beat Mississippi State in a 2018 national title game rematch in their second round. They will play Maryland in a rematch from earlier this season in the Sweet 16 tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. Now, before we wrap up the Sports Zone, we want to congratulate all the winter sports teams that brought home IHSAA sectional titles this year. Congratulations to both Washington basketball teams on winning their sectional, and to the Riley boys swim team who beat Patton for the first time in 5 years on their way to their 30th program sectional title. That wraps it up for this edition of Sports Zone. I'm Cooper Van Driesch. Back to the anchor desk.
Thanks, Cooper. Swanson Traditional School recently wrapped up its annual socks drive during Dr. Seuss Week. The school's goal was to collect 1,000 pairs of socks. But the Swanson Scotties went above and beyond, donating a total of 1,523 pairs of socks to the South Bend Center for the Homeless.
Thank you for joining us for this week's edition of Buzz in the Bend. As always, be sure to click that subscribe button and tap the bell icon to get notified when we upload a new video.
And be sure to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
Tune in to our 24/7 student radio station, WETL 91.7 FM The Mix.
And find out how you can become a WETL sponsor by visiting www.sbstvradio.org. I'm Fernando Sanchez.
And I'm Sajanaya Grohl. Have a great day.